Welcome back to the Football Showdown. As you can see by the title, we're going to be talking about Man City dropping points again to Crystal Palace. But before we get into that, thoughts are out to Tom Locker. Unfortunate what happened. It was a really tough watch. I was watching the Chelsea-Sheffield United game, and I was checking through the scores, saw that game was suspended, so I went to go back to see what happened. And, oh, my God, it was hard to watch, honestly. You never want to see that. Expectation is everyone gets to go home at the end of a soccer game or a football game. And to see him just collapse like that was really heartbreaking. As a former player, you never want to see something like that, because who knows, it could be you next time, or it could be a friend. And it's just really hard to watch. So thoughts go out to him. Luckily, it seems like he is okay. There's reports saying that he was responsive and alert, so nothing too serious or life-threatening, at least it seems like as of right now. If there's more to come, I'll make sure to keep you guys updated with what's going on. But now that we got that out the way, let's talk about Man City dropping points again to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, they love to turn into prime Barca with Xavi, Busquets, Iniesta, Messi anytime they play Manchester City. And I love to see it, because now if we win tomorrow, that's 6 points clear at the top of the table. Now, Ederson should have been sent off, because I don't know how that's not a red card. You can't slide into someone, take them out with the open goal, and just get a yellow card. I get that. I think it was Ruben Diaz was right next to him, but he's not going to stop. Who was it? Was that? I forget who that was who had the ball. I think it's Mateta, but I don't think it is. But anyway, if he can't finish that chance, even with Ruben Diaz right there, then he's not a striker. He needs to go play Sunday League, because anyone can make that shot after the goalkeeper comes rushing out the net and they just tap it around him like he was going to. So for that not to be a red card is embarrassing. The refereeing in England, over in England, sucks. It is not good. The refs are terrible, but we say that about a lot of sports. But some of these calls are ridiculous. VAR is here for a reason, to make sure that calls like that are officiated correctly. And when you're looking at that and you think yellow card is fine, then it questions the integrity of the refereeing. PGMOL, I think. Yeah. It questions their integrity, because it's just so bad. It's so egregious that there's no way that you can look at that and be like, yeah, yellow card. It's just crazy, because no one, I don't even care that that's Man City. Obviously, I want the result to affect more because it is Man City, but that's a red card regardless who that's against. It could be Fulham and Sheffield Wednesday. I don't care. That's a red card. If Allison did that and we were given a red card, I'd be like, fine, whatever. That's a red card. You went out for the tackle and you missed the guy, and there's an open goal behind you. So for that not to be a red card, it kind of questions the integrity of the game. Not saying that they're cheating. I don't think that, because there's been bad calls all around. But in terms of integrity, I mean, it's just hard to feel like they're making the right decisions, that you can trust them to make the big calls when needed, because they've shown time and time again that they're not capable of doing so. Now let's talk a little bit more about the game. It just was... City, they're always going to look good, right? They're going to, because they have some really good players. They have some quality. They have one of the best managers in the world. So offensively, they're always going to look sharp. They're always going to create chances. They're going to put away a couple chances. You're surprised when they don't, because they just have too much quality to keep them from the ball going into the back of the net. But defensively, man, in that midfield, it can be so easily overran. When you're having players like Rico Lewis try and fill in the midfield role, granted, he wasn't bad, but he's a defender at the end of the day. He's not a midfielder. You can't keep throwing in these center backs and fullbacks and hoping that they can cover in the midfield, because that's just not what they are. It worked for a while. When you get a John Stones, yeah, that works. But when you have someone like Rico Lewis, who isn't of that quality of John Stones, you're going to see a drop-off. And I get it. You're out KDB. But you still have good players. You should be able to see out a 2-0 win at home against Crystal Palace. I get they're your bogey team. If this was away, then there's a discussion to be had. But you're home. And I get one of the goals was a PK. But, dude, you got to do better. You can't be fouling in the box in the 90th plus minute. This is the second time this season that they've done that. Once against Chelsea with Ruben Diaz. This time, second time, by Phil Foden. It's just poor. It's lack of discipline. It's not having your head in the right place. It's just lackadaisical, honestly. It is just so bad. I don't know what's going on with Man City, but they're not good this year. I'm no longer having them as favorites. I think it's Liverpool. We win our game tomorrow against Man United, and we're 6 points clear. And at that point, I have to say we're favorites. Because what are Man City showing us? Nothing. They're showing us that they're not capable of holding on to leads right now. They're showing us that they aren't able to grind out wins. And what do people always say? Champions grind out the games when they shouldn't win. And City are failing to do that. They're failing to win the games even when they deserve to win. Much less, let alone, when they aren't playing well enough to win. It's just a bad performance. And people keep going on about Liverpool's away form. What about City's home form? In order to be champions, your home stadium has to be a fortress. And that's not what the Etihad is right now. It's a place where you can walk in and you can go and grab 3 to 1 point. It's easy now. Whereas before in previous years, it was more difficult to grab those 3 points or a point. And home, away, it didn't matter. When you played City, you hoped for a draw at best. If you got 3 points, great. You have to have a really good game plan. Your players would have to be on it. But now it's just the complete opposite. You could not be on it for 80 minutes, but then scored 2 goals back-to-back because the defenders just lose concentration and the midfield gets tired and overran. It's a really thin squad. And I get that the youngsters for City played really well against Belgrade, I think it was. But they're not of quality. They're not even Premier League quality. So, I mean, of course they're going to play well. That's why they didn't play today. Because they're not ready. They're not of quality. And unless they make moves in the January transfer window, they're not winning the league. I'm dead set on saying that. You can come back to this video by May, and I'll still be confident that City won't be winning the league. Because their end of schedule is too hard for them to go and win 10, 15 straight games in a row. You're asking too much. Because we've never seen a City team this poor and make that run. Usually it's like, they'll be 10-3-0 or something like that. Or 10-3-1. Something like that. It won't be have one win in the last 5 or 6 games, whatever it is, in the Premier League. We've never expected that. So, I don't know. I don't think that they're favorites for the Champions League anymore. I don't think that they're favorites for the Premier League anymore. Because they're not showing anything. They're not showing any quality that they're good enough to do this. Now, again, Liverpool have to win our game tomorrow, and we can go 6 points clear. Do I want Arsenal to win their game against Brighton? Yes and no, only because I like to see more pressure away from added to City. The more that the Liverpool and Arsenal can pull away from City, the more pressure is on City, and the more that I think that they will continue to collapse because they're just not that good this year. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't, please like, comment, share, subscribe. It's greatly appreciated. And let me know what you guys think about the title race in the comment section below. See you guys in the next one.